Please welcome Alex Joyce.
How we doing, gang? Great to be here with you. I just got a text message from my brother. He informed me that our 89-year-old grandmother went on a date last night. Yeah, with a guy she met online. Some kind of grandma dating app. I don't know how it works. Right? I don't know what to think about this. I mean, on one hand, I just want my grandma to be happy. On the other hand, she is cheating on my grandfather. It's a bad grandma. Don't cry for my grandfather, though. He's no prize peach. He called me a couple of weeks ago to tell me, really to announce, that he doesn't hate Puerto Ricans anymore. Now, this is big news. As long as I've known the man, he's hated Puerto Ricans. But as it turns out, the Puerto Rican family he's been feuding with for years are Italian. So it's the big news out of Naples, Florida. Don't get him started on Italians. Any Chicago people here? Okay. So you guys know it's a big city, but it's a bunch of small towns. You just run into people. I ran into my uncle. He's a homicide detective. And he immediately is just like staring at me. You know, he's detectiving me. He's staring at my eyes, staring at my hands, looking at my shoes. And he says, "You got wasted last night, huh?" I said, yeah, I did. What's the deal? Can you smell it on me? And he leans in and goes, "No. I was with you last night." You got a drinking problem there, pal. We have any Irish people here? Got some Irish Americans? My family are Irish American from the South Side, and we do have Irish cousins. People from Ireland come to visit. When people from Ireland come to visit unannounced and stay for 2 weeks, that's the Irish hello. That's how that goes. So the sensibilities of Irish people and Irish American people, they're not exactly the same. They're a little bit different. Good illustration would be two cousins of mine. I've got a cousin named Dermot, who is a fisherman on Galway Bay. And he is also an accomplished playwright. That's an Irish person. That's what they're like, right? I got another cousin, Matty. He was recently fired from his job at the Red Lobster in Joliet, Illinois, for stealing bottles of Jameson. That's an Irish American. That's what we're up to. So Dermot and his wife Deirdre and their two kids came over from Ireland to Chicago, and I took them to all these touristy things without shame. But they loved it. They loved Chicago. They were like, "Oh, we want to move to Chicago. This place is grand." So that's great, but their kids, the two twin boys, 15, psychos. Just complete psychos. They were jumping off of buildings, like Irish parkour, just like jumping around. One of them jumped on a police horse because he thought it would be funny, right? So I pulled Dermot aside and I was like, "Hey, Derm, what would you say is wrong with your kids?" He kind of looked down at the ground, and when he came out of thought, he said, "Well, I cut him a bit of slack because, you know, it's their first time in the States, and you know, it's their first time in a huge city, and they've been drinking all morning, so I don't know." I don't know what to do with them. Do we have any drug users here? By a round of applause, how many drug users we got here? Just a few? How many liars we got here? Got some liars. I have noticed that all of my friends are on drugs. And they all have that one drug they swear that they would never try. Like, I got a friend that smokes pot, and he's always like, hey, I would smoke a lot of pot, but I would never do cocaine. I got a buddy who does cocaine, and he's always like, hey, I might do a lot of cocaine, but I would never do crystal meth. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a buddy who does crystal meth. Yeah. And he's always like, hey, I might do a lot of crystal meth. You got any crystal meth? Which I don't. You guys are wondering? My Aunt Margie is 90 years old. She lives in Kankakee, Illinois. Her home was recently burglarized by meth heads. The cops haven't caught them, but they know it was meth heads based on what they took and what they didn't take. So these meth heads, they didn't take any of my Aunt Margie's jewelry. And they didn't take any of her fine china. But what these crazy meth heads did, they took every bit of my Aunt Margie's crystal meth. Terrible. More of a drinker. We got some drinkers in here, huh? A little bit? Yeah. My psychiatrist says I need to limit my alcohol consumption to 2 drinks per occasion. 2 drinks per occasion. It hasn't been that difficult to handle, though. I am up to 9 occasions per day. That's what's going on there. My aunt and uncle are coming to Chicago. They're visiting from eastern Tennessee. We have any Tennessee people here? Good. They are wild people. My Uncle Travis gets a lot of attention at airports because he looks just like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah. And my Aunt Lisa, she looks just like Dog the Bounty Hunter. There's 2 Dog the Bounty Hunters and me at the Cheesecake Factory next week. That's probably going to be happening. But they went to, last time they were here, they went to an Italian restaurant called Rosebud. And they were there, had dinner and had drinks. And then John Cusack walked in. Actor John Cusack. Now, my Aunt Lisa loves John Cusack. She's drunk. She's trying to make out with him, you know. Pictures taken with him. My Uncle Travis is just like, I don't like John Cusack. So the next day I said, well, what do you not like about John Cusack? Travis. And he was just like, well, I just got the feeling John Cusack thought he was better than me. I said, Uncle Travis, I didn't think we'd have to have this talk. But John Cusack is better than you. And he got defensive, as you imagine he might. He was like, oh, why? Because he plays pretend, and they put him in the movies because he's a good old pretender. Is that it? Is that why he's better than me? And I was like, yeah. Yes, that is one reason he's better than you, Travis. Another reason, if I had to scramble, would be that, to my knowledge, John Cusack was never fired from his job at O'Reilly Auto Parts for stealing auto parts. And then he said, man, why you bringing up old shit? I was like, it's 2 months ago, old shit? I think it's old shit. I heard on my Uber radio on the way here that they're making another Fast and the Furious movie. You guys excited about that? I think this is the 11th one. I'm not going to see it. I'm going to go ahead and not see it because let's face it, they're never going to make one that's as good as the book. You guys ever read Fast and the Furious? Oh, it's great. Crack a book. It was really, really high last week. We all get high, right? We went over that. Yeah. But I only smoke weed like once a year. So when I get high, I get really, really high. So I was watching The Empire Strikes Back. And Darth Vader says to Luke Skywalker, Luke, I am your father. And I was so high, I said to myself, it's a good thing Darth Vader didn't have a Chicago accent. Good thing Darth Vader didn't sound like my Uncle Ed the homicide detective, right? Luke, I'm your dad. It's not as good. Found a $100 bill last week. $100 bill. That'll put a spring in your step. Felt really good about it. And I found it in the craziest place. It was in the most unlikely place. I actually found it inside my brother's wallet. Ladies and gentlemen, there's never money in there. It's a miracle, really. Anybody here believe in ghosts? Ghosts? Do we have any ghosts here? Couple in the back? Okay. I've been dating this girl for about a month who says she can see ghosts and communicate with ghosts. This isn't something I like about her. I try to ignore this as much as possible. We'll be out to eat, and she'll just be like looking past me, and I'll be like, is it a ghost? She's like, yes, it's the ghost of an old farmer who died in a fire in 1927. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know this was a haunted Arby's, but okay. Sometimes it can't be ignored. Like one time we were checking into a hotel, and she pulled me aside and she's just like, I don't think we should stay here. I feel the presence of lost souls. And I was like, honey, it's 5:30 in the morning. We're checking into a Red Roof Inn in Terre Haute, Indiana. We're the lost souls. That is us. I didn't mean to brag, but I ran into Justin Bieber's grandmother. Sometimes you drink for 3 days, you get to meet the big celebrities. Me and a buddy of mine, we walked into this Irish bar in Chicago, and yeah, we were like 2.5 days into the drink. And and the bartender was just like, lads, listen, I'll get your pints, but there's this lady here saying she's Justin Bieber's grandmother. She's going up to everybody. She's going to insist on meeting you. Just fucking play along, man, you know? And I was like, okay. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, comes this little lady from Canada, and she introduces her to us. And she asked me if I like Justin Bieber's music, to which I said, oh yeah. He's the best. And I said that because I lie to protect people's feelings. You know what I mean? It's a little old lady. And she was delighted. But then she asked my buddy if he enjoyed Justin Bieber's music. A little background on my buddy. He's from Manchester, England. A little background on the English. They don't lie to protect feelings. And I'm pretty sure the English are against feelings, right? He got down eye level with this lady. He's like, oh, so you're Justin Bieber's grandmom? You're Justin Bieber's grandmom. Well, I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be honest. I hate you. What are you gonna do? I'll take an Englishman to an Irish bar with a Canadian lady there. We have any Minnesota people here? Yeah, Minnesota. Suspiciously nice in Minnesota. Everybody's really nice. My Aunt Mary lives in Minnesota in Wayzata. And I went to go visit her. And this was like, I don't know, 10 years ago when ISIS first came out. You know the terrorist organization, ISIS? So she and I were just like watching the TV in her room. She's the most saintly, nice person I've ever met. And there's like, they're cutting off dudes' heads and lighting them on fire and all these atrocities, right? And she says to me, she turns around, she's like, I don't know about these ISIS characters. Bunch of bad apples, if you ask me. Want some coffee? I was like, there you go. That's how you meet pure evil. It's with nice. I don't think I mentioned this. I attended college at the University of Alabama. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, it's an academic powerhouse. It's a center for learning, Alabama. Sophomore year of college, my girlfriend and I went to a bar called Cheap Shots, where they were inexplicably having a special on gin and tonics. Now, up to that point, I had never drank gin before. So I was like, all right, I'll try 9 of them, right? So I drank a whole bunch of gin. And what I didn't realize is that gin turns me into an awful monster person. I started an argument with my girlfriend, which I had never done before. I accused her of not taking 9/11 seriously enough. It's a pretty bad thing to accuse anyone of, much less your girlfriend. So she left me at the bar, and I'm just drinking by myself. I didn't have a cell phone. This is 2001, this is in the old days. So I had to use the bar house phone to call a taxi to take me home. And here's how the taxis work in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. When you call Bill's taxi, Bill will answer. And then he'll say, where are you at? I'll come to get you. Then you tell him where you're at, and he never comes to get you. And you walk home. That's how it works. So I was walking home, and I thought I was doing pretty good. I was loaded off gin, and I thought I was doing great. And then I tripped and fell in front of a Wendy's. Cop car pulls up immediately. Blue lights. Cop gets out of the car, walks over to me, stands over me, looks down and goes, "Well, we were rooting for you." But once you did the slip and slide, we knew we had to pick you up. So they put the bracelets on me and put me in the back of the cop car. And imagine my alarm when we started driving away from where my house was. I actually thought, this is proof I was drunk. I was like, oh, they don't know where I live. So I said, officers, guys, you can do a legal U-turn at the bowling alley. I live behind the Schlotsky's Deli. They just started laughing at me. It's like, son, we're not taking you to your home. We're taking you to the Tuscaloosa County Jail. And I was like, oh, okay. By the time we got to the jail, I thought to myself, these cops are cool. I like these guys. I think they like me. But the people working inside the jail, not cool. One guy is what I would call scary dumb. What's scary dumb? Well, I'll tell you. They took my shoes and my belt and my keys and my wallet, my everything. I'm signing like paperwork, drunk signing things. And then it's fingerprints time. So this guy's doing my fingerprints. And I'm wearing a shirt that says Chicago Fire Department on it, right? And he's just looking at it. He's doing the fingerprints. He's like, Chicago Fire Department? What, are you from New York or something? Yeah. It's like, so he's in charge of my freedom. Cool. Then they threw me in the drunk tank. Anybody here been in the drunk tank? Yeah, that you remember, right? Yeah, we're liars here. Drunk tank is just like a concrete room, a bunch of drunk and passed out dudes in there, and it's awesome. No, it's not awesome, it's terrible. And you're there like forever, you know, until you sober enough to be let loose into the world again, right? So there's no clocks though, you don't know how much time is going by. And I was in there for what seemed like an eternity, right? But I was staring at this toilet that was in the middle of the drunk tank. And it's a toilet where there's no curtain, there's no wall, there'd be no privacy for anybody using this toilet. And I said to myself, I'm in a horrible situation here, but at least I don't have to poop. And then right then, I had to poop. And so first thing, I'm like, where's the toilet paper? So I said to this guy next to me, I was like, hey man, where's the toilet paper? And he just looks at me, he's like, no. No. And I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, this is happening, we're all in this, right? So then he points to across the drunk tank, and I see a guy is using the toilet paper as a pillow. He is asleep. He's also covered in tattoos, even on his face. He's the scariest looking dude in there. And now I gotta go and ask him for his pillow so I could do a poop 6 feet from where he's sleeping, right? So I approached this gentleman, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry. He's like, what, dude? I was like, I need the toilet paper. And he was actually very kind. He was like, man, just you give it back to me when you're finished, man. It struck me that he said finished. Whenever you're finished, dude. So then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on the toilet. on the toilet doing a poop. And you would think nobody would want to watch. There were some dudes watching me. In fact, one guy woke up another dude. He's like, "Hey, man, hey, you're gonna miss it." So then a lady corrections officer person comes in, and I'm on the toilet, and she's got a clipboard, and she says, "Where's Alexander Grayson Joyce?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's me." I'm on the toilet. Me. She looks up and looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And I didn't even say anything. I was just like, "Oh." And she says, "I've been here for 7 years. I've never seen anybody do that on that toilet. But when you're finished, you're out of here." So I was like, "Oh, thank Christ." So I get out of the drunk tank. They give me my shoes and my keys and my belt and my wallet and everything back, and signing paperwork, and I'm almost out of there. And then this like disembodied Billy Graham voice from nowhere and everywhere said, "Y'all make sure you breathalyze him before you release him." I thought, I've been in here for an eternity. I couldn't possibly still be drunk. So I did the breathalyzer thing, and I was still one tick over the legal limit. They took all my keys and shoes and belt and everything away, took the paperwork, ripped it up, put it into the garbage. Now the guy that thinks that Chicago is a borough of New York is walking me back to the drunk tank. And so I thought, I'm just gonna be funny here. I said, "Sir, I don't want to go back in that drunk tank. Could you just maybe give me the death penalty?" He stopped like to think about it. He was like, "I just don't know how that would apply in this situation." So don't go drunk walking in Tuscaloosa, is that one. Now here's a compare and contrast, thank you, for Tuscaloosa police versus Chicago police. 2 years after I moved to Chicago, my car was stolen from a Jiffy Lube place, from an oil change place. Daylight robbery, just gone, right? So when they couldn't find it, they were just like, "Mr. Joyce, is it possible that maybe a cousin of yours picked up the car?" She's got a cousin? What? It's preposterous. Cops literally phone it in. They don't care. They don't care about my 2001 Volvo. They don't care. And so for 3 weeks, I was just a guy that didn't have a car, just a stolen car. But then I was drinking at this bar called Jake Melnick's for about 5 hours. And I got a call on my phone, and it said Chicago Police Department. I answered it. I said, "Hello?" He said, "Hey, this is Officer Callahan. We've got your car. You need to come down and claim it and sign for it and take it home." And I said, "Hey, that's great, but I've been drinking for hours. I'm drunk. Like, I can't come down and get it now." And he says, yeah, we'll figure that out when you get here. Just come on down." What? I go down to the precinct, and they weren't busy or anything. There was like a Bears game on. Like they were just like, it was like a party. But I go and I see my car. It was cleaner than when I have ever had it. They fixed a window, and the bad guys fixed the sunroof. They were way better owners than I was to this car. So they were like, "Is this your car?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's my car." And I was like, "But I'm drunk, so I don't know. I mean, should I be signing this?" He's like, "Yeah, sign here. Yeah, initial here. Yeah, right." So one of the cops, I guess he just got exasperated at me protesting. And he was just like, Captain, this guy thinks he's too drunk to take his recovered car home. Here comes the captain. He's holding a chicken wing. He's got a mustache. He just looks at me, he's like, let me see your eyes. You're fine, just go. Go. Chicago police. Ladies and gentlemen, I love Sarasota, and I knew it when I walked into a Walgreens today, and I saw a woman holding a NyQuil bottle, and she was reading it aloud to herself. And she said to herself, loudly, non-habit forming, we'll see about that. Just my kind of sound. Thank you very much.